When I tell you that God is about to bless you in secret places, I need you to hear this with the deepest part of your spirit, because this is not an ordinary message. This is not a gentle whisper. This is a divine announcement. There are moments when God does something so quiet, so hidden, so deeply buried beneath the noise of your life that only those who walk closely with God can feel the vibration of it before it appears. And right now, God is preparing something for you that the world has not seen, your enemies have not sensed, and even your closest supporters cannot detect. God is shaping a blessing behind the scenes that is about to emerge into your life with a force that will silence doubt, shut the mouth of fear, and elevate you to a place you never imagined you could stand. There are blessings God gives openly, blessings that appear in moments of celebration, blessings that others can see and applaud. But there are also blessings that God hides, blessings that are woven into the unseen corners of your journey, blessings that are born in the quiet, sacred chambers of isolation, tears, perseverance, and unspoken battles. Those are the blessings that shape destiny. Those are the blessings designed not to make you comfortable, but to make you powerful. And those blessings, those hidden holy blessings, are the ones God is preparing for you now. You may not realize it, but God has been guiding you into hidden rooms. God has been closing certain doors, not to deny you, but to conceal you. When God hides you, it is never rejection, it is protection. God will often draw you away from noisy places, distracting people, and polluted environments so that your spirit can receive what your eyes cannot yet understand. The blessing God is preparing for you is one that requires silence, stillness, and spiritual focus. God does not build greatness in the spotlight. God constructs destiny in the shadows. Some of you have been wondering why this season feels quiet, why certain people walked away, why opportunities slowed down, why the atmosphere around you suddenly became still. It is because God needed to pull you into a secret place to work on you. And God is not working on you because you are weak. God is working on you because you are chosen. When you are chosen, God does not expose you before you are ready. God does not give you a blessing that your character cannot hold. God does not elevate you to a position your inner world cannot sustain. Before God blesses you publicly, God strengthens you privately. There are prayers you prayed that no one heard. There are nights you cried that no one witnessed. There are sacrifices you made that no one recognized. And yet, God saw every moment. God heard every whisper of your soul. God counted every tear. God studied every sorrow that weighed on your heart. And God has decided that now is the time to reward what was done in secret. Because God does not overlook faithfulness. God does not ignore endurance. God does not abandon those who walk with integrity even when the world cannot see them. Your private obedience is about to produce a public transformation, but it won't begin publicly. It begins with God blessing you in secret places. The secret places where God speaks to you when no one else can reach you. It is where God shows you strategies that people around you would never understand. It is where God gives you wisdom that does not come from books, mentors, or conversations. It comes from divine revelation. When God blesses you in the secret place, God is not giving you something ordinary. God is giving you something that carries spiritual weight, something that has purpose woven into it, something that is too valuable to be exposed prematurely. You must understand, God hides what is holy. God conceals what is precious. God protects what carries destiny. And that is why God has been hiding you, molding you, and preparing you. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned for a blessing that was designed in divine secrecy. Some blessings cannot be produced in public because too many voices would try to shape them. Too many opinions would try to influence them. Too many hands would try to touch them. God wanted this next blessing to be uncontaminated, pure, untouched, undefiled by the intentions or interference of others. That is why God isolated you, not to punish you, but to preserve what God is planting within you. There is something God is about to release into your life that requires spiritual maturity. If it were given to you earlier, you might have used it incorrectly, wasted it on the wrong people, or doubted whether you even deserved it. But now, after everything you've endured, after the crushing seasons, the silent battles, the lonely nights, the hidden tears, you are ready. You are mature enough to handle what God is releasing next. And God is about to bless you in a way that aligns with your purpose, elevates your spirit, and stabilizes your soul. You see, God knows when you're ready. You may think you're ready when you're excited, but God knows you're ready when you're disciplined. You may think you're ready when you desire it, but God knows you're ready when you've been shaped for it. You may think you are ready when you are desperate, but God knows you are ready when your character has been refined, your vision has been purified, and your intention has been sanctified. This is why God does not rush certain blessings. God knows that what comes quickly can be lost quickly. What comes without responsibility can be mismanaged. What comes without spiritual depth can become a burden. But what God prepares in secret, what God shapes through testing, through waiting, through endurance, becomes unshakable. It becomes permanent. It becomes powerful. Right now, God is placing you in a realm where divine secrets are revealed, quiet blessings, hidden opportunities, silent breakthroughs, doors that open without noise, relationships that enter your life without warning, strength that rises in your spirit without explanation, wisdom that enters your mind without being taught. God is forming these blessings in the deep places, the inner chambers, the concealed spaces that others cannot see. There will come a moment soon when what God has been doing privately will erupt publicly, and people will say, where did this come from? How did this happen? How did they rise so quickly? They will not realize that your sudden breakthrough was not sudden at all. It was developed in secret. It was built in silence. It was prepared in the hidden place where only you and God walked together. God is about to surprise those who underestimated you. God is about to elevate you beyond the limitations others placed on you. God is about to open doors for you that no one thought you were qualified for. God is about to speak your name in rooms where you have no physical presence. God is about to bring resources, connections, and opportunities to you in ways that do not make sense to the natural mind. And all of this will flow from what God has been forming in the secret place. You must prepare yourself, because when God releases a secret blessing, it comes with divine acceleration. It comes with a favor that bypasses protocol. It comes with open doors that were previously locked. It comes with opportunities that appear without explanation. It comes with a strength that feels supernatural. It comes with a clarity that dissolves confusion. It comes with a peace that settles your soul in ways nothing else could. This blessing you are about to receive, it will not come through people. It will not come through manipulation. It will not come through your own strength. It will come directly from God. That is why it is being prepared in secret, so no individual, no circumstance, and no environment can claim credit for what God is about to do in your life. You will know it was God. You will feel it was God. You will recognize the divine fingerprints on every part of it. And once it arrives, even your spirit will whisper, "This is what God was preparing me for. This is why God separated me. This is why God quieted my path. This is why God removed certain people. This is why God stopped certain opportunities. This is why God closed certain doors. This is why God took me through seasons of pressure, stretching, and molding." God was preparing me for this. You may not have understood the silence of God. You may not have understood the delays, the rejections, the endings, but those were not losses. They were divine redirections. God was steering you toward a blessing that could only be born in secret. Let me tell you something profound. Before God elevates a person publicly, God blesses them privately. Before God opens a visible door, God forms an invisible foundation. Before God releases abundance, God strengthens the soul to carry it. Before God increases influence, God purifies intention. Before God multiplies your life, God sanctifies your heart. This is what God has been doing inside you, whether you recognized it or not. You have been walking through a season of divine secrecy. God has been restructuring your inner world, aligning your spirit, sharpening your discernment, and refining your faith. And now the preparation is almost complete. You have been faithful with little. God is about to trust you with more. You have obeyed in private. God is about to reward you in extraordinary ways. You have held on when it seemed pointless. God is about to show you why the wait was necessary. But listen carefully. The blessing God is preparing for you is not just meant to elevate your life. It is meant to confirm your spiritual identity. God is about to show you who you are, not who people said you were, not who your past tries to convince you you are, not who your insecurities whisper. God is about to reveal the strength within you. God is about to reveal the purpose you carry. God is about to reveal the value that has been hidden beneath scars, betrayals, failures, and doubts. You are not ordinary. Your path is not ordinary. Your calling is not ordinary. That is why your process has been so intense. God is preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. And because the blessing is great, the preparation has been deep. Because the impact will be powerful, the silence has been long. Because what God is about to release carries destiny, God needed to ensure you were spiritually ready. Many people expect God to bless them publicly, but they do not understand that public blessings come from private surrender. Public elevation comes from private obedience. Public favor comes from private discipline. And you, through all your struggles, through all your waiting, through all your quiet sacrifices, have been developing the very qualities that God requires for this kind of blessing. Do not be surprised if God begins to move swiftly. Do not be surprised if situations suddenly shift. Do not be surprised if unexpected opportunities appear. Do not be surprised if long-standing limitations break. God is about to move in your life in such a way that you will not have time to doubt. You will only have time to receive. God is about to bless you in secret places. God is about to release something into your life that will change the direction of your story. God is about to bring you into alignment with the future that has been waiting for you. God is about to unfold the blessings that were reserved specifically for this season. You have entered the realm of divine secrecy, and the blessing that is forming there will soon overflow into every part of your life. When God prepares to bless you in secret places, God often allows you to walk through seasons where nothing seems to make sense on the surface. These seasons are not punishments, they are divine setups. God will allow circumstances to look confusing so that your trust is no longer anchored in what you see, but in who God is. When the visible world becomes unclear, the invisible hand of God becomes unmistakably active. That is when your spirit begins to rely not on outward evidence, but on inner revelation. And it is in this deep place of spiritual reliance that God begins forming blessings that cannot be shaken by external forces. There is a sacred pattern in the way God works. God disrupts before God develops. God breaks before God builds. God empties before God fills. This is why many people misinterpret the divine process. They see the breaking and assume abandonment, not realizing it is preparation. They see the silence and assume distance, not realizing it is a sacred pause before divine revelation. They see the pruning and assume loss, not realizing God is removing what cannot support the weight of the blessing that is coming. You must understand that every disruption is a sign that God is rearranging your internal structure so you can receive what your spirit has been praying for. God hides you not only to prepare you, but also to protect what is growing within you. Because there are moments in life when the blessing God is forming is so delicate, so spiritually significant, that premature exposure could destroy its potential. That is why God shields certain plans, closes certain mouths, and disconnects you from certain influences. You may not have understood why people drifted away, but God saw what your eyes could not. God knew that some connections would create spiritual interference. God knew that some environments would choke your vision. God knew that some relationships were not equipped to nourish the blessing you carry. So God separated you not to leave you alone, but to strengthen what you are becoming. There are blessings that require solitude because solitude forces the soul to grow. When God places you in seasons of aloneness, it is not isolation, it is consecration. God draws you inward so that your spirit can become grounded. God strips away noise so your discernment can sharpen. God removes distractions so your vision can expand. People fear solitude because they misunderstand its purpose. But solitude is often the birthplace of destiny. God used silence to amplify your spiritual senses. God used quietness to refine the voice of your intuition. God used the stillness to reveal depths of strength you never realized you possessed. And just when you feel like nothing is happening, everything is happening, God does the greatest work when your life looks still. Roots grow downward before the tree grows upward. Foundations are established long before walls rise. The blessing God is forming for you is developing in the unseen layers of your existence. God is building spiritual strength you cannot yet measure, courage you have not yet discovered, and clarity you have not yet accessed. When God blesses you in secret, the change happens within you before it happens around you. That is why certain situations no longer trigger you. That is why old habits no longer satisfy you. That is why you feel a shift in your spirit even when nothing external has changed. God has quietly been removing old patterns from your soul. God has been untangling you from past wounds. God has been dissolving insecurities that once controlled your decisions. God has been strengthening your spiritual backbone so that when the blessing arrives, it finds a vessel capable of carrying it with integrity and purpose. Many people want the blessing but not the transformation. They want the elevation without the refinement. They want the increase without the discipline. But God will never place a blessing on a foundation that cannot support its weight. That is why God took you through struggles that felt too heavy to bear. God was strengthening you from the inside outward. God allowed pressure to shape you, not to break you. You survived battles that would have crushed weaker souls. You endured storms that others could not have weathered. You rose from seasons that were designed to bury you. And now, because you survived what was meant to destroy you, God is preparing to reward you with what will establish you. There is a realm of a blessing that can only be accessed by those who have surrendered deeply. Not surface level surrender, spiritual surrender. The kind of surrender where you release control, trust God's timing, and allow God to lead you beyond your comfort. This surrender is what opened the secret places of your life. This surrender is what unlocked divine strategies. This surrender is what positioned you for this moment. You have been yielding to God without realizing that your obedience was unlocking doors in the spiritual realm long before they appeared in the physical. Right now, the blessing God is forming for you is aligning with the divine timing. When the timing of God and the readiness of your spirit intersect, breakthrough becomes inevitable. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. What is for you is already woven into the divine structure of your destiny. It is impossible for anyone to take what belongs to you. It is impossible for any enemy to interrupt what God has ordained. It is impossible for any circumstance to block the blessing that has your name on it. If God is preparing it for you in secret, no force in existence can prevent its manifestation. And let me tell you something important. God is about to bless you in ways that will silence your doubts, vindicate your patience, and validate your spiritual journey. There are people who questioned your path, and they will soon witness what patience in God looks like. There are individuals who underestimated you because they judged you by your visible situation, not realizing God was building greatness within you. And there are battles you fought silently that will soon produce results that will speak louder than words ever could. You are about to walk into a season where what you prayed for will meet you with ease. Not because life suddenly becomes effortless, but because you have been spiritually prepared. God strengthens your spirit before strengthening your circumstances. That is why you will walk through doors with confidence. You will step into new environments with authority. You will speak with clarity. You will move with purpose. You will make decisions with discernment because God has been shaping you in the secret place for a destiny that is unfolding right now. But listen closely. God does not bless you in secret to keep the blessing hidden. God blesses you in secret so that when the blessing emerges, it carries the full weight of divine intention. The blessing coming to you is not shallow, it has depth. It is not temporary, it is lasting. It is not ordinary, it is extraordinary. God is not giving you a moment, God is giving you a mentor. God is not granting you a small opportunity. God is positioning you for sustained influence. God is not sending you a fragment. God is releasing fullness. This next blessing will reconnect you with the parts of yourself you thought were lost. It will restore dreams you buried. It will awaken strength you forgot you had. It will illuminate the path you felt had gone dark. God is not only about to bless your circumstances. God is about to transform your inner world with divine assurance, inner peace, and unwavering confidence. Prepare yourself. God is about to lift you into a dimension of a favor where you no longer chase blessings, blessings chase you. Where you no longer beg for opportunities, opportunities seek you. Where you no longer strive for acceptance, you move with the certainty that you are already chosen by God. You must understand this. When God blesses in secret, it is a preparation for destiny, not just comfort. God is crafting a version of your life that cannot be replicated by human effort. God is constructing circumstances that align perfectly with your spirit, and no one else can intervene. There are lessons in the hidden seasons that no classroom can teach, no mentor can fully explain, and no worldly experience can imitate. These are divine lessons, lessons meant to purify your heart, sharpen your understanding, and calibrate your soul to receive what only God can give. Every struggle, every waiting period, every tear that fell unnoticed, each of these was a tool God used to carve a vessel worthy of the blessing ahead. In these secret places, God often separates you from distractions so that your focus becomes absolute. There are people who unintentionally divert you from your destiny. There are relationships that, while seemingly beneficial, subtly misalign you with divine timing. There are situations that demand your energy and attention but do not contribute to your growth. God removes these elements not as a punishment but as divine precision. This separation is not loneliness, it is refinement. In these hidden spaces, you are being polished, strengthened, and readied. You are becoming someone who can not only receive a blessing but can also steward it with wisdom and integrity. Do not despise the quiet season. Do not resent the unseen preparation. Do not assume God is distant because you cannot feel the change in the natural realm. God is always present. God is always at work. And God is always speaking, though often in ways that only a heart aligned with the divine purpose can hear. The whispers you sense in your spirit, the nudges in your conscience, the clarity amidst the confusion, these are God's fingerprints on your life, confirming that the secret blessing is being formed even now. The hidden blessings God gives often come with a test of patience. God will allow waiting periods not to frustrate you, but to refine your trust. When God prepares a blessing in secret, it requires you to live in faith without visible proof. And this is a crucial skill in the life of anyone chosen for extraordinary purpose. The ability to trust God's timing when the world seems uncertain. Your faith must not depend on circumstances. It must depend on God. When you can trust without evidence, when you can believe without validation, when you can persist without applause, you are demonstrating that you are ready for what only God can release. And here is another truth. God's blessings in secret are often multi-dimensional. God is not only blessing your life with material abundance or visible achievement, but with spiritual clarity, emotional resilience, and divine insight. God is equipping you to walk in a realm where you operate with both the wisdom of the unseen and the strength of the tested. These blessings prepare you to influence others not by force or manipulation, but by the authority of a life that has been refined in the hidden presence of God. When the secret blessing manifests, it will carry the depth of divine intention, and everyone around you will see evidence of God's hand. Some of the most profound blessings are designed to be invisible for a season because their impact cannot be rushed. God cannot reveal certain things until the foundation is ready. This is why you may feel invisible at times, unnoticed, and even misunderstood. God is layering experiences, aligning circumstances, and activating spiritual favor in ways that no human eye can detect. By the time these blessings are revealed, they will be unstoppable. They will be undeniable. They will testify of God's wisdom, patience, and precision. You must also recognize the role of spiritual perseverance. Those who receive secret blessings are not always the fastest, the loudest, or the most visible. They are the ones who endure quietly, who pray faithfully, who act righteously when no one is watching, and who walk steadily even when the path seems unclear. God honors this perseverance. God rewards consistency in the unseen work. God multiplies what has been faithfully nurtured in secret, and the greater the hidden obedience, the greater the public manifestation will be. Do not underestimate the power of divine alignment. God is about to orchestrate circumstances, open doors, and place people in your life in ways that seem coincidental but are far from it. When God blesses in secret, it is a symphony of precision. Every detail, every timing, every encounter is intentional. Even situations that once appeared as setbacks were pieces of the preparation. God uses every moment, both the joyous and the painful, to align you perfectly with a blessing that cannot be rushed. Be vigilant of your heart in this season. Guard your spirit against doubt, anxiety, and the whispers of comparison. These are distractions that attempt to steal the impact of God's secret work. Focus on the invisible, trust in the unseen, and walk with confidence in the divine process. God has already set the blueprint of your blessing. God has already orchestrated the timing. God has already secured the provision. Your responsibility is faithfulness, obedience, and readiness. And know this, God's secret blessings often come with a sense of divine surprise. You may not predict how or when they will appear, but when they do, you will recognize God unmistakably. You will feel a peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that cannot be contained, and a clarity that dispels confusion. The blessing will carry purpose, power, and confirmation of everything you have endured and every season you have faithfully walked through. God's intention in blessing you in secret is also to prepare you to bless others. the hidden favor, the unseen provision, the spiritual insight you receive is not for selfish gain. God's blessings are designed to ripple outward, influencing lives, inspiring hearts, and advancing divine purpose. When you are lifted in the secret, God positions you to be a source of light and guidance in ways that extend beyond your personal story. There is no limit to the magnitude of what God can do in secret places. The quiet, unseen work is a fertile ground for miracles, for spiritual elevation, and for transformation that the world cannot anticipate. God's hidden hand is powerful beyond human comprehension. It moves without fanfare, acts without announcement, and accomplishes without the need for validation. And the results of God's secret blessings are always lasting, profound, and aligned with divine destiny. Prepare your heart for the manifestation of these blessings. Prepare your mind to recognize the alignment of divine favor. Prepare your spirit to receive the sudden increase that comes after seasons of quiet preparation. God is about to move in ways that surpass what you have imagined, ways that surpass what you have been seeking, ways that align perfectly with the purpose God has written for you from the beginning. The secret place is sacred because it produces individuals who operate on a level beyond ordinary understanding. God's hidden blessings refine your character, strengthen your faith, sharpen your discernment, and amplify your capacity to carry responsibility. The one who has been blessed in secret emerges equipped, prepared, and unshakable. The blessing is not only a reward, it is a confirmation of a spiritual readiness, divine selection, and unbreakable alignment with God's will. Even now, as you stand on the threshold of these hidden blessings, know that every moment of waiting, every act of faith, every silent prayer, and every hidden struggle has been shaping a vessel worthy of divine revelation. God is about to move, and when God does, your life will reflect the hidden glory, the unseen preparation, and the divine favor that only comes from the secret place. And now, as the hidden hand of God moves in your life, understand this: the secret blessings you have been waiting for are not delayed, they are deliberate. Every closed door, every season of silence, every moment of waiting has been orchestrated by God to prepare you for the fullness of what is coming. The blessings God is releasing are not accidental, they are intentional, precise, and perfectly timed. They are crafted to elevate your spirit, align your purpose, and secure your destiny. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that what God is forming in secret cannot be stolen, cannot be replicated, and cannot be diminished by the opinions or actions of others. Guard your faith, protect your heart, and remain steadfast in obedience, for these are the keys that unlock the hidden treasures God has prepared. Do not be shaken by the noise of the world, the impatience of your own spirit, or the skepticism of those who cannot see what God is doing. Your path is set, your purpose is confirmed, and your blessing is imminent. Rejoice in the unseen, trust in the silence, and embrace the waiting, for these are the sacred spaces where God perfects what will soon be revealed. When the time comes, your blessing will emerge with the power, clarity, and divine authority, and it will be unmistakably God's will. Let your heart remain steadfast, your spirit remain faithful, and your eyes remain fixed on God, for the secret places of preparation are the very places where destiny is born, and God is about to unfold the blessing in your life that will change everything. Stand firm, walk in faith, and receive it, because what God has prepared in secret is yours, and no force on earth can prevent it from manifesting.